Today on Conversations with Cody, I have David Herron. After 5 years working in the city, he made a decision to try a role of rural pharmacist. So why did you choose Mount Isa?
I guess there are a number of reasons why I chose to practice here in Mount Isa. I guess the first was an opportunity that came up to work at Micro, Centre for Remote Health, in a pharmacy academic position. Something new that I hadn't tried before. So I guess that's the reason that brought me out to Mount Isa. I also, while I was working in that role, I was able to undertake some work as a locum in one of the community pharmacies here, and I guess I really enjoyed community pharmacy here in a small town. And I've grown up in small towns my whole life, so it was a natural progression for me to continue practice in a small town once I got my training in the bigger centres.
Yeah. Okay. What do you see as important issues relating to rural and remote pharmacy?
I think the issues that relate to pharmacy in general are always pertinent to rural and remote pharmacy, but we do have some extra areas of concern. Retention and recruitment of pharmacists to rural areas is always going to be more difficult than the city. I guess the number of pharmacy students that are going through their degrees at the moment and qualifying as pharmacists is taking some of the pressure off those numbers. But we're seeing more, they're saying, in the larger metropolitan and larger cities, such as Townsville and Cairns. You're starting to find there's more and more pharmacists, so less and less jobs, which is starting to push people into a few of the smaller towns. But we're still seeing small towns like Mount Isa and to a greater extent the smaller towns that surround us are still struggling to recruit pharmacists. So that's an issue that we really do have to address, is getting pharmacists to come out here. Not only that, but also staying in these areas. There's a few areas of concern, I guess, for rural. There's the number of hours we work. You do larger hours, you do bigger hours than you would do in larger centres, and I guess you also do, you're working by yourself a lot more, so you haven't got that peer group, whether it be in the pharmacy you're working a lot of the time, you're actually the sole pharmacist, or even just having a group of peers around you, so a large number of pharmacists as well. So they're all concerns that we have to sort of look at, I guess, if we're going to get community pharmacy in rural areas stabilised, I guess, and fixed.
Okie dokie. So are you enjoying your work here?
I really am. I'm in a full-time position in one of the community pharmacies here in town, which I'm really enjoying. It's a small pharmacy, but it's got an increasing script rate, so I do a lot of that. I guess I'm enjoying looking at how the pharmacist, he's one of the old generation pharmacists, works with his patients and the interactions he has there. It's something that you would really never have in a bigger pharmacy. So I'm really enjoying getting to meet a lot of our clientele and a lot of our patients and getting introduced. I'm still the new boy a lot, so people still look at you a little bit like you're far too young to be a pharmacist, when you get told that. But it's a really good opportunity to meet the patients and get a bit more involved in their lives than I would get in, say, a metropolitan pharmacy. So yeah, definitely enjoying my time out here.
Good. What issues do you face with your professional development activities?
Professional development's quite difficult in smaller areas, as you can imagine. We haven't got the access to, say, universities or even bigger peer groups out here. So coming from Townsville, we used to have it organised through the Division of General Practice and also the PSA, Pharmaceutical Society, that we have talks every month that were run at the hospital by, say, a visiting specialist or something along those lines. If you're in a city like Brisbane, they have regular monthly talks that are on pharmacy-related issues as well. So you get that opportunity to sort of hear the latest developments from people in the field, and you also get to come together as a group. So you see a lot of faces that you either went through university with or who you've worked with. Smaller areas, we generally don't tend to have that. I mean, the community of pharmacists out here, I think at last count there was about probably no more than 6 to 10 of us out here, as opposed to Townsville, where that number is probably now starting to get closer and closer to 50 to 100. So we do have those sort of issues. Whilst there is the availability of continuing professional development on the internet, and that is quite good, it still doesn't replace face-to-face. I think the other thing is just the attendance of conferences. If we're wanting to attend a conference out here, it's not just a financial issue of the cost of flights, because that is becoming a little bit more reasonable with Qantas taking the flights out here. I think it's the time that's involved. So if you were looking to go to a 2-day conference somewhere, it's going to take you 4 days, and you take in travel time as well. And often getting a replacement is a little bit difficult to do that. Or if you do that, somebody else has then got to pick up the burden of you going to those conferences. So they're all issues that need to be addressed, and they're all difficulties when it comes to continuing professional development for us here.
How do you see yourself in the future? Or where do you see yourself in the future?
I think small towns.
Yeah.
I think a small town somewhere, whether it be Mount Isa, I'm not 100% sure, but I think a smaller community working in pharmacy somewhere is where I will end up.
Yeah.
It's what I enjoy. It gives me the people contact, and also clinically I find it very challenging. You're on your own a little bit more, so you have to rely on yourself a lot more than you would if you were in, say, a bigger pharmacy where there were, say, 3 or 4 pharmacists that you could bounce ideas off. Here you're relying a lot on your own learning and your own education to sort of make some clinical decisions. So I really enjoy that aspect of my job. So whether it be Mount Isa or another small town, I think that's where I'm going to be in the next at least 5 years. 10 years, who knows. I'd like to say a Caribbean island somewhere mixing drinks, but we'll see how